Hi, I'm Mateo. I'm that friend of your future self, here again. Welcome to video A17, of the Clever Quick series of strategies for the management of learning. Video A17 covers informing others, which is the I in quick. Here you'll learn about how best you can inform others with presentations and written reports. The Clever Quick system is a comprehensive set of strategies to ensure students get a great start on their lifetime of learning. Once again, I'm speaking to you from your future, and I know you will become successful when you use these strategies. Thanks for joining us again. Abby, Jarvis and Blaise will help us with informing others.
Thanks, Mateo. One of the special types of assignments that strike fear into the heart of many students is making a presentation or writing a report. The comments that follow are geared to making some kind of written presentation. There are similar considerations when creating other types of presentations, whether they involve models, display boards, or some form of audio-visual format. The focus is on the message that you are attempting to convey to others.
That's right, Blaise. I used to really dislike presenting information to the teacher or others in class. I saw preparing a presentation or a report as a huge task which would consume hours and hours of time. I usually didn't know where to start. I was overwhelmed. Perhaps you can avoid that defeated feeling by learning what I learned. Preparing a presentation need not be a problem if you plan ahead and break the large task into smaller ones. Approach the small tasks with a plan, using the writing process. The following steps are involved. 1. Choosing the topic. 2. Brainstorming for all related ideas. 3. Making an outline. 4. Conducting research and assembling notes. 5. Adjusting the outline and arranging information. 6. Writing a first draft. 7. Revising. 8. Writing the final draft. And 9. Proofreading. The way that you gather information together and present it in a report is like what you are required to do when compiling information for an essay, either as a take-home assignment or a test question.
Good points, Abby. To start, you need to fully understand assignment details. With that in mind, there are several tips which will prove useful when you come to work through this process. First of all, when you start, make sure you have a clear topic. Know the extent to which you are to examine the topic and the approximate required length of the project. When the assignment is introduced, make sure that you get all the facts straight. What exactly are you to do? What should the length be? How many marks is it worth? When is it due? Is it to be writing only, or can it include pictures, video, and other formats? Next, it is vital that you break your task into small chunks and set deadlines for the completion of each part.
Yes, Jarvis, as you point out, clearly defining your topic is so important. Make very sure that you've got your topic well defined. If you have been given a choice of topics, then you have a decision to make. The most important point is your interest. You'll do a much better job of something which captures your imagination. You should also ensure that there is enough information, look through several encyclopedias, and check the appropriate section in the library. By the way, don't settle on too large a topic. If there is an overabundance of material available, you may have real trouble dealing with a topic adequately. In a case such as this, it would be better to narrow down the topic. Once you have chosen the topic, or at least adjusted the scope of the topic, check back with your teacher to make sure it's okay with him or her. He or she may want to see a rough outline of what you're going to do. That's the next step.
That was something that sure helped me, Abby. Making a rough outline with a mod diagram actually helped me narrow my topic. When I approached my research with a general outline in mind, I was more successful. The outline acted as a guide. Don't be afraid to modify your outline in light of information you gather though. That's what I did and it helped. To organize a rough outline, do what I did and use a form of mapped outline diagram, MOD, which you will recall was introduced as a note-taking strategy in the U part of Quick.
I found success using that outline system as well, Jarvis. I put the title of my report in the middle of the page. Next, I looked at a couple of encyclopedia articles which covered the topic. I decided which sections I would need to cover the topic. For example, if I'm doing a report on a particular country, I may have some of these sections: people, geography, government, natural resources, and industry. Also, I included a section for an introduction and one for a conclusion. I labeled these sections and placed them on my mapped outline diagram. I would also leave space below for adding notes. Sometimes I would use several sheets of paper or one very large sheet. Next, I entered all the information I currently had onto my diagram in the correct sections. This is the outline I can show my teacher. When I get to this point, I realize that I have made a significant step toward completing my assignment. By the way, if your teacher prefers a more traditional outline, you can put numbers and letters on your sections and then arrange them one after the other on lined paper.
Next up, you'll need to gather information to add to your outline. With the outline to work with, you will have to search for more information in each section you have. Use several different sources. As you add information to your diagram, ensure that you put it into your own words. Do not copy word for word, this is plagiarism. You won't learn much and, if you're caught, you'll fail the assignment. If you do quote someone's work, make sure to give proper credit. If your outline was complete to begin with, you can just add the information in the right section. If you come across information that can't be contained in the sections you have, you can either create a new section or leave the information out. If you need more room, you can extend out onto other pages.
Sorting and connecting all information to your outline sections is very important. Your outline diagram allows you to sort all the information into the sections you will have in your final report. When taking research notes, another method that I used is an organized system of cards. Each card contains one major point and has the source clearly indicated. I found that I could then make piles of the note cards when they had each been assigned a section. Cards can be used to lay out a rough form of a mod diagram, or they can be added to your diagram with tape or glue. The most important thing is that you are organizing the information you are gathering by section as you obtain it. Keep track of the sources of information, the books and other pieces of information you use. They will need to be listed in a bibliography at the end of your report. If you're comfortable making notes on a computer, by the way, there are programs that will help you set up notes on digital cards. This will save you time when composing your report, especially when putting quotes from your sources into your project.
What you're sharing here, Abby and Jarvis, is so important. I can see that you're truly putting into practice what Priya and Ethan taught us in the U part of Quick. What's next?
Well, Blaze, we now need to take that information and put it in a form that will be useful to help others learn. That often includes writing. You'll need to begin by writing your rough draft. Once you have all the information down on your mapped outline diagram and/or cards, it is time to write the rough draft. Do this section by section. Don't worry about getting the wording exact at this point. Just get your ideas down. The writing of the rough draft should be done rapidly and spontaneously. I found it easier to prepare this draft with pen and paper, but it would be most beneficial if it could be entered into a computer right away, or as soon as possible. That way you will be able to make changes easily and be closer to a finished product with less additional work needed. For input, if your typing skills are lacking, you could consider a speech-to-text program. Word has a built-in component which is fairly accurate. Concentrate on getting the major points down and arranged according to your outline. Worry about the specific wording later. Do your introduction and conclusion, then add your bibliography section, after you have written the rest of your draft. Waiting on these parts will make it easier to add sections and pieces of information as you work through setting up the rest of your material. I liked that, because it kept my options open to make changes in what I say I would be pointing out, proving, or explaining in my report.
Good thoughts, Jarvis. These helped me as well. Once you've done your draft, you can move on to the smaller adjustments that will make your work clearer. The logic and flow in your paper is crucial. Proofread your work, carefully correcting the wording, punctuation, and spelling. It's even a good idea to let it sit for a few days at this point. A little extra time away from thinking about all the information really helped me see things more clearly. This became very possible when I planned my time ahead, and I was not completing things on the day before it was due. When you've fixed as much as you can, let one or two others read it and offer suggestions. Review and re-revise until your report provides a clear representation of the points you are making. Read it aloud to check for awkward areas and mechanical problems. Have several other people read it and give you feedback. You should also use some form of organized approach to check your writing. One example, allowing you to police your writing is COPS. C-O-P-S. Capitals, overall organization, punctuation, and spelling. Another strategy that an editor might use as he sweats over a writer's work is S-W-E-A-T-S. Sentence structure, word choice, ending, attention grabber, thoughts, and sequence.
A lot of work, but we're almost done. After working through each of these steps, write the final draft. Be careful with your general layout and neatness. Neat and tidy work makes a good first impression and will often result in better marks. Using a computer or other electronic device allows corrections to be easily made. A professional-looking product is now well within your reach. Start your report in plenty of time to complete all these steps. Late assignments often lose marks or are just not accepted.
Thanks so much Abby and Jarvis for sharing all these strategies with us. As we mentioned earlier, we need to keep in mind that these steps you describe are for all types of information presentations, whether they involve written words, spoken words, pictures, videos, displays, models, demonstrations, or whatever. Keep the concepts related to these steps in mind anytime you want to inform others of something.
This has been Video A17 in the Clever Quick series, Informing Others. Try the ideas we have suggested to be more effective in the presenting of your learning. Next up, look for Video A18, Survey FL6, letters C and K, code for memory and knowledge displayed. We look forward to seeing the future you. Thanks for your attention.